Morning, Mike. I wanted to post a video response to your Truth About 9/11 video because I'm one of the people that you're ready to round up and give my blood to the poor. I already give some of my blood, so I mean, you know, there's there however many pints I give. I think you give an eighth of it when you get. Well, anyway, don't take it all. I think I can use it for good. So here's what I have to say to you. I heard you say you don't care about the melting point of steel. I'm a 9/11 truther. I'm not a scientist. I don't know for certain about the melting point of steel either. So I find that point to be kind of neither here nor there as far as the 9/11 truth movement goes. What I want to say to you is that you're construing 9/11 truth with alternative 9/11 conspiracy theories. People like the guys that made Loose Change, who are suggesting a vast government conspiracy, and there's an enormous portion of us who, you know, are able to distinguish between the solid evidence in those films and the questions that they're raising and the theories that they propose to explain them. And a big part of 9/11 truth has nothing to do with any alternative theory. It's only about saying, hey, wait a second, there are some things that still haven't been explained about September 11th. You talk about the way that you heat up this point of this building that's built in this way, and that eventually it's going to break. I agree with you. I think you're absolutely right. I don't understand how the rest of the building could break in exactly the same way without having had a plane crashed into any part of it. And you make no mention of this entire third building that collapsed peripherally. I don't need to say that I think that there were bombs in the buildings to say that the answers that have been proposed do not account for the entire event. And, you know, 3,000 people, 3,000 American citizens were murdered, and we have a responsibility to have as accurate of an understanding of how that happened. I mean, even if it's just for building safety purposes, we have a responsibility to demand a clear articulation of it, and nobody can honestly or fairly deny that our government has been very secretive and withheld the evidence that they claim to have that supports their version of events. As far as Islamic Jihad, and this is the other misconstruction, I don't even know if that's misconstruct, but of course Islamic jihadists are an enormous problem and an enormous threat to the United States. Of course they want to kill us, and of course, you know, our invasion of Afghanistan and, you know, every member of a terrorist Islamic jihadist organization in Iraq that is neutralized by the United States action. That's a positive thing for them, for us, for the world. I agree with you. I don't think that it has to be either one or the other. I mean, if you look at the history of the Islamic jihadist movement, back when it was the Muslim Brotherhood in Afghanistan, you had the CIA in there training them, Osama bin Laden among them, funding, training, arming them to fight against the Soviet Union. We gave them their terrorist tactics. We gave them their weapons that they've used and supported them. Just like what we're doing now in Iraq. I don't know if anybody watches Anderson Cooper, the 360 show, but you know, last night on there he was talking about the fact that we now have Sunni militias in Iraq that are working alongside our soldiers, that we've given them money and weapons to fight against other militias in Iraq, and these are guys who literally have American blood on their hands, and we're paying them and arming them. And when asked how we know that they won't turn back against us at some point, the general who was responding for the military and for this action said, well, you know, we have no idea. There's no way we can know that, but you know, it's a unique situation, and you know, sometimes, you know, when you're in a situation like this, you have to work with somebody, and you know, I can't think of any other way to deal with this. I haven't read the Quran fully, but I've read a lot of it, and I know that there are some ideas in fundamentalist Islam that suggest, jihad and killing people, and I disagree with those. I think they're wrong. I think it's important to communicate to the Muslim world and to create a dialogue there where those ideas can be separated and disowned from the religion. So I don't disagree with you on your principles. I just think that your reason for dismissing 9/11 truth outright has nothing to do with the reality of the questions that are being sincerely and honestly proposed by some of us out here. And I think it's irresponsible to blindly follow any ideology, whether it's Islamic fundamentalism or whether it's the corporate news media version of events that you get in the United States. You have to dig deeper, and you have to try and see things as they really are, not black and white as it's easier to comprehend them.